what impact can CSR initiatives have on the broader social and economic development of the country?
It is it, it 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 cannot solve the whole problem, but it is definitely adding a lot of value to the socio-economic issues of the
Yes,
country. We're talking about 25,000 crores of CSR funding, like the 2021, 2022. If you see, it's approximately around 25,000 crores
yes,
of money that's being spent through CSR. And Ministry of Corporate Affairs has put in great regulations into the
yes,
spend, and a lot of amendments keep coming in, ensuring that the spend is done in a right way.
right fashion. Yes,
So, and the sectors are reasonably spread across education to environment to healthcare to sports development to rural development to disaster relief. So unfortunately, COVID had a setback because a lot of CSR fund has to be channelized for healthcare development, infrastructure development. But I think we have come out of COVID, and then right now, the sector wise channelizing the funds under various sector is started happening again. Companies at least most of the corporates at least have like 2 to 3 different sectors that they work with, starting with education, environment, and healthcare, and livelihood and skilling, and all of them. So there needs to be like fair share of spread in this 25,000 crores into the sectors of social
correct.
impact. And it's definitely going to make an impact because the recent amendment in the CSR policy, right? Like the Companies Act that says typically in the long days, like in 2014 when CSR policy, I mean the Schedule 7 was introduced into Companies Act, we were just supposed to report like what is the 2% qualification that we were having as a corporate. And then later, like years when it started evolving, then we had to say like how did we spend, and what are the sectors that you spent, and is there a project that is completed, and is there a project that is in progress, is there an
Yes,
unspent money, and if there is an unspent money, how are you going to utilize that money? If you're not going to use the money, I'm going to take that money into the the PM cares or the government agencies
expenditure.
which
Yes,
are eligible for. So when these regulations have started coming in, the the pinnacle amendment that I see right now, right, one of the change that we have seen is that, like, if your company has spent in a project more than 1 crore, then have a third party do a social impact assessment of the project.
correct.
So have a third party do an assessment, and the government is mandating that to be done.
Yes,
So far, people have been spending. People earlier, people were accounting, and then people had to spend, and now spend it rightfully, and then measure the impact is also have started coming into place because of the recent amendments. Given that measurement is happening, a proper monitoring and evaluation is going to happen for at least the 25,000 crores of money that is being invested, right? Obviously there is going to be a meaningful impact that happens in the ground in terms of all the sectors, and that will invariably bring in a difference to the social economic status and the implications that will have onto the market.
absolutely.
From a career point of view, from a like team lease, from your point of view, when you're focusing on career guidance and uplifting the economically weaker section, right? When they come into the market, when they start earning, say it is not about just giving a job, right? Like right now, engineering students and MBA students are taking up jobs with Zomato and Swiggy and Uber and
Yeah,
Ola.
unfortunately,
It is
yes.
not the right thing. Like when in a school ecosystem, what we say something called age appropriate proficiency for a sixth grade student. Does that sixth grade student has that age appropriate proficiency? A fourth grade student should be knowing addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. Does a student know that addition, subtraction, division, and multiplication in a school ecosystem at the fourth grade? That is age appropriate proficiency. Similar to that, right? Like when we get out of graduation, do we get into the right job, and do we get the right pay for that right job? So that is where we need to look into it. And when foundations like when you really focus on that, when you measure the impact and carefully curate and design the program for them, obviously they are going to get into the job market with the best talents in place, and their package of salary is going to be at par to the market standards, and
Yes,
they're going to contribute back to the GDP, and they're going to uplift their family. They come from the rural
community.
and economically weaker section, they're going to go for a home loan and they're going to buy a new house for their parents or construct a new house for their parents, and then they're going to become a taxpayer. So from an unemployed to making them to a taxpayer, it directly contributes to our like society and then economically reform. So
Absolutely.
programs through CSR are a great benefit to the
Thinking that, yeah.
system, the society in terms of economic reform. So that's my point of view.